character named Bizarro that was a Superboy clone that didn't quite wear the Superman outfit and was not the same. Action 254 to me is first appearance of proper Bizarro. And so I got both of those books, and I got a deal on it. I talked the guy down a little bit. And so I was happy with those. And then we got some we got a few things signed, and I bought Cullen and Jimmy Z are writing that
Tick book.
They're writing the new Tick. So I picked the first 3 issues of that up and had those guys sign them.
And I picked up Subspecies from them and had them both sign it.
Yeah. And what did you get? I forgot what you got.
So I picked up, because we were at the Image booth, I got Hack Slash Resurrection number 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
Signed by Teenie Howard and Tim Seeley. So I got those, and we got their information so we can have them on the show proper.
Yeah.
I got a Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's already packed up. I don't want to pull it out.
Yeah, mine's all our stuff's packed, so we're not pulling anything out for you guys.
But it's a Dracula versus Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted that. I got a one of my missing Shang-Chi, Master Kung Fu. And then I got a Man-Thing number 2, 3, and 4 from Volume 1. Couple free books. I got from Big Dog Inc. I got the first trade for Critter.
Yeah.
And then a variant cover of Critter that looks like Spider-Man 300.
Yeah, Zenoscope gave you a whole arc pack of $15 pack of books and said, "Here, go read these."
Yeah, Zenoscope gave us books to read because we're going to be having start working with Zenoscope and excuse me, long weekend.
Yeah, that's you can tell. We're winding down.
Yeah, but and then I bought the kids some stuff. Bought them a couple things. Had to hunt 20 minutes for the Coochie Kopi for Paige.
Yeah, that was a trek. But luckily, I kind of remembered where it was, and we found it eventually. But I got my wife and this was the dumbest thing I did probably the whole weekend. Is on Friday we were walking around, and there's a guy there that's been there every year since probably 2015 or maybe even before that. But I first found him in 2015, and the first time we found him, my wife bought the guy welds steel statues together of pop culture stuff. Like he's got Doctor Who stuff, he's got Aliens, Predator, Star Wars stuff that he's made out of pieces of scrap metal, and they're like little statues, and they're really well made, but they're really heavy because they're steel.
Right.
And my wife bought a Dalek a few years ago, and she told me because she only got to come to Sunday. She said, if you're there around, you see that guy, I want the TARDIS that goes with the Dalek. That I have a matching set of the guy's Doctor Who stuff. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So we walked by, and I happened to see the guy there. And he's got one TARDIS sitting on the table. And I was like, dude, I should probably buy that now. Because if he's only got one of those, she's going to be so disappointed if I don't get that right now.
Right.
So I walked by and said, okay, how much for that? Bought it reasonably priced. I told her that he was going to raise prices because the guy does good work. I knew the longer his booth was there, that it's going to go up. So I paid a little bit more for this than I did the Dalek, but no problem with that. Problem is, this thing weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a 10-pound steel TARDIS. And on top of that, I've got a box of comic books in my shoulder bag and a coat. So I'm walking around with like 40 extra pounds. And never again. I'm going to perfect my system of doing press and shopping at Comic-Con one of these years.
Yeah.
But my recommendation to anyone going to a big con, for one thing, drink lots of water. Make sure you've got lots to drink. Another thing is don't carry anything you don't need. If you don't need it, leave it in your hotel, leave it in your car, because there is literally nowhere to put your shit unless you have a press room. Like we luckily we didn't even know about our coat room until like halfway through the first day. So we found out about that. But if you're just there to enjoy the con, you do not want to carry that shit around all day. It will break your shoulder or your back. And so this Saturday I said, nothing. I'm not taking anything today, dude. We're doing press all day. I'm not buying shit. I'm not carrying shit. I'm carrying my phone and my press badge, and that is all I'm taking in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad I did, because that was the most hectic day, and if I would have had to drag that bag around through that crowd, I would have been passing out for sure.
Definitely. So let's talk about I said this was a mini-sode.
Yeah, we're running long on the mini-sode.
Let's talk about Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. Saturday, like I said, I'll give Lloyd Kaufman a kidney if he ever needs one. I will donate a body part to Lloyd if he needs one.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
As a Marvel thing comes on, Marvel Strike Force.
Strike Force. Oh, it's a game, I guess.
Yeah. So we got an email before the con, as you know, a lot of press stuff. Hey, what do you want to sign up for? One of them was Troma and Broadway HD. We're going to be premiering the HD filmed version of the Toxic Avenger musical at C2E2, and they're like, "Do you want to RSVP to go to this?" So talking to Chief, and Chief will admit he's not a musical guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big musical guy at all. I can't think of one that I've ever enjoyed. Like maybe when I was a kid, Grease, just because my sister was into it. And
right.
Stuff, but growing up, that just wasn't my thing. I'm into dark. I like Conan the Barbarian. I like H.P. Lovecraft. I like horror. I like superhero comics. Some people would say that's closed-minded, whatever. That's what I like.
Right. But Lloyd was going to be there, and with Lloyd doing so much for us...
Yeah, Lloyd, I'll do anything for him, so...
It was like, yeah, we'll go do it. So, Saturday, we're down at the smoking area, and the guy from Troma was down there again, and I said, hey, what room is the musical in?
Yeah.
He told us, and he goes, you know what, why don't you, if you guys want, just come down to the booth around 6:45, and we'll walk up together. We were like, oh, okay, cool.
Thinking we're just going to go walk behind them, get a seat, and watch the show.
Yeah. So we get down there, and we...
Well, Lloyd's finishing up some autographs, some photo ops, people there. There's a short line, so we got to wait a little bit.
Yeah. So the guy gets dressed up as Toxie.
Yeah.
And it's time to go. And he looks at us and he says, "Look, I can't see too well out of this mask. You guys got to guide me." So, Chief is guiding him.
Yeah, I was the Toxic Avengers seeing eye dog.
I am walking with Lloyd's wife, because Lloyd was doing a real quick interview as he was walking. So, I'm escorting Lloyd's wife, and I'm thinking we're going to get up there, everybody's going to be in line waiting to come into the screening room, and we'll just go up there.
I thought maybe there'd be a side door where we go in first and set up for press, and then let everybody in.
No, we get there, we go in, and everybody is already sitting in there. All the people who RSVP to go see this thing are already sitting in there, and we walk in with Troma.
Yeah. We are with Troma. Spin is escorting Lloyd Kaufman's wife to her seat. I am escorting the Toxic Avenger and carrying his bag. And then we go and sit. And the only two, there was one row of seats that was empty, and two of those seats were reserved for Lloyd and his wife, and then the other two seats. So Spin and I get to sit. Lloyd goes up and does his introductions and tells what everything's going on. And everybody's cheering for Lloyd and everything. And then we go sit down, and come to find out, we are sitting with Lloyd for the premiere. Spin sat right next to Lloyd Kaufman during the premiere of this play.
Yeah. And this musical, if you get a chance to see it, it actually today, on Monday, it's now streaming on Broadway HD. Go check out Toxic Avenger the musical.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a musical guy. It's very funny. It's a very comical musical, and it pokes fun at musicals in a lot of ways, and it's really funny. It's my kind of. Well, you know what? Actually, I do like John Waters stuff. I do like John Waters movies. So it reminded me a lot of a John Waters movie, like the way Crybaby or Hairspray or something like that.
And it's interesting. So, and what's more interesting is the basic premise of the Toxic Avenger is there.
Yeah, it's all there. It
condensed,
of course.
Condensed, and some things changed from the movie,
right?
To make it more appealing for musical.
Yeah,
purposes.
not quite. It's not the gore fest that Toxic Avenger is known to be, and it's not quite as risque in places. But I mean. You get the gist of the story of what happens, how the Toxic Avenger becomes a Toxic Avenger, what happens with it, through his life. But really funny stuff. I got to give the cast, the 4-person cast.
4 people, yeah.
And so one of the women in the play has a dual role.
Natalie Hope.
And at one point, she has her two characters have to fight each other. So she comes out half and half of her characters and fights herself on the stage while singing.
Yeah.
And it is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen, and very talented, because she doesn't crack a note while she's doing it, and it's amazing.
She's very talented. They were all very talented. 4 people cast. Lots of costume changes. And so, big props to the backstage crew of that show, because they got
crowd reaction too. Everybody seemed to love it. It was getting applause through everything.
Yeah, very, very good. So that was basically C2E2 for us.
At the end of it, when Lloyd was doing it, Lloyd was taking some photos at the end with the producers and everything. And we went to say our goodbyes to Lloyd, and Lloyd is such a humble dude that I went up and I said, Lloyd, thanks a lot for letting us come to this. We didn't know we were going to get to set with you. We didn't know we were going to do like this. We didn't expect this. This is amazing. And Lloyd was like, no. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your support for Troma. We really appreciate you guys. Independent film couldn't do it without people like you showing up to things. And thanks for having me on your show so many times. And we'll be back, and we'll work to you again. Lloyd's the nicest dude, and will bend over, really into helping the underdog. He's a guy that hates big Hollywood. He hates the cookie cutter movie industry machine, and he likes to help the little guy out, and he does. And he's a man of his word, and he doesn't just say that shit and bullshit you. He really follows through on what he says he's going to do, and he's a good man. And support Troma. Yeah.
So that was C2E2 in a nutshell. Now, you're going to get this episode early this week. Probably, we're recording this on Monday. I'll probably put it out tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have much more material from this coming in the future. And regrettably, we didn't have much time to read comics for comic reviews this week, but we'll get to that. We'll get it all out. It's coming, but we were busy this weekend.
Yeah, so you'll get this on Tuesday, maybe tomorrow night or something if we're not sleeping.
Yeah, I may need a couple days to recover. We might put out some comic reviews later in the week, but tomorrow I think I'm going to be, or tonight for sure I'm going to be sleeping.
Yeah, so then you'll be getting the interviews.
Well, if you've got time tomorrow, that might be a good time to do it. I might get some in the daytime, and then we'll do it.
Or even get some stuff for the interview stuff, and we can put that out later on this week.
Yeah. We'll get you. You're gonna be sick of us by the time it's over.
You're gonna get loaded up, but
we got a lot of stuff to put out.
Yeah, but we want to thank you for tuning into this little episode here, just about C2E2. You got interviews coming soon from Warner Brothers, Blondie Girl Productions, comic creators. You're gonna have everything here in the next couple of weeks, and look for a lot coming in the next couple months.
And like I said, 99.9% absolutely perfect. Couple of assholes here and there, but for a con that size, when tens of thousands of people get together, if you run into 2 assholes, you've had a great day.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, ReedPop puts on a great con. I'm hoping it stays about the way it is with comics and entertainment. And once again, fuck Dave Bastista. But everybody else, wonderful. Warner Brothers, great. Troma, great. Breckenmeyer, Super Mansion, those guys were great.
Yep.
Had a great time. One of the best times of my life.
So you all can check us. Make sure you follow us, SpaceG75, Nerd Rage Renegades on the Twitter box, Facebook.com/NRR Truth Radio. Instagram is Nerd Rage Renegades. Make sure you check us all out, because we're going to be posting a shit ton of pictures in the next couple days.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a plane to catch here in a few hours, so we are going to say good day.
Good night, everybody.
Nerd Rage Renegades.